Right.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to our free class. I'm so excited that you're here. My name is Amanda. I'm sorry, I forgot to change my name on the screen. Um, and you're probably here because you are interested in learning what day trading is all about. So that's what we're going to cover in today's call. I'm going to give you just a very brief overview of who I am, what brought me into this day trading space, what my life looks like now that I am a full-time day trader. Then I'll pass the mic over to Gemma and Jen, who are my co-founders here at Forex For Women. We all three work together to help teach women all over the world this incredible skill. So, and then right after that, we will dive into the charts and I'm going to teach you a little bit about day trading. So if you are ready to go, type 222. Those are our three favorite numbers at Forex For Women in the chat. And I will get started with my little brief introduction. I am a mom of three girls who I homeschool. Interestingly, we actually have just gone back to homeschooling after 2 weeks of trying out private school. Didn't work out so well. It turns out I have fully ingrained these children to live with complete freedom. And so the 2 weeks that they spent getting up and going to school every day it maxed us all out. And then they were like, actually, you're right, Mom. Homeschooling is much better. And they're all like, I am definitely homeschooling my kids when I get older because do school like 2 hours a day. And my husband doesn't work anymore. I don't work anymore. And so we can do whatever we want to every day. And I know we're in a very privileged position, but I worked hard to get here, right? And so it's a really, really incredible thing for me to be able to say, yes, I homeschool my children. My husband and I both do. And then we really get to just spend our days together. And I believe that every single family in the world can have access to that lifestyle, whether it's through day trading, starting your own business, whatever it is. That's kind of what we're here to do, is just to instill that belief in you and help you see a bigger vision for yourself. So while I'm telling you a little bit about why I decided to get into day trading, I would love for you to post in the chat why you're here. What is your why? Because when I first started having children, I had no desire to work. I'm sure many of you can relate to that. I had no desire to put my children in daycare and get a job. And I told my husband, if I'm going to marry you, I will be a stay-at-home mom. That is just the way it's going to be. And for a little while I was, but financially, it just became too difficult. In today's day and age, most households can barely survive on one income. And so even though I was able to sort of stay home with our children, and actually we had an older special needs child who needed me to be home with her 24/7. So there really was no option for me to go to work, but we could barely survive on our one income. We were borrowing money from my mother-in-law, gas money, food money to pay bills. I had to borrow money from my dad to fix our water heater. Like, it was a struggle. And so the only way I saw a way out of that was if I could figure out how to bring in some sort of income. So at the time I started a photography business. But with any business that you start, if you want it to grow, if you want to make more money with it, if you want it to help provide an income for your family, it will take you away from your family. And that was the opposite of what I wanted. I was so tired of having to choose my family or an income. And the same with my husband. He was sick of that too. Like, that is not the way I feel like God wants us to live, is having to choose between spending time with our children and raising them versus feeding them. Like, that's not the way life should be. And so I just heavily sought out ways in order for me to make a lot of money in as little bit of time as possible, right? I wanted to have unlimited money and only spend about 10 minutes a day doing it. And so I had tried all the things: affiliate marketing. Let me know if you guys can relate to this. Affiliate marketing, MLM, opened my own business, sold products, like, you name it, I tried it all. But all of it felt like a struggle. It was like I was always just hitting my head against a wall. Like, I could never get to where I actually needed to be financially or with my time and freedom. And then day trading came across my computer and I was like, okay, you are a college dropout. You are terrible at math. You're just a mom. You don't know anything about finances. You don't even know what's in your bank account right now because your husband handles all the money. But yeah, let's learn day trading. And so it's kind of funny that I even thought it was something that I could do. But I was desperate. I was at a point in my life where I was like, it's either I learned something that I never thought I could do and just step out of the box and try something new, or stay stuck in this position of my life that I hated. And it was a struggle, and I didn't want to struggle anymore. And so that was 4 years ago. That was in 2020, is when I first started to learn day trading. And it took me some time to find my footing in the day trading space. But when I caught the vision of what was possible, it gave me the motivation to never give up and to pursue day trading as if it was life or death. And it gave me life. And so 4 years later, my husband is fully retired. I am fully retired from doing any sort of job. Forex for Women is my passion project. It's Jen's passion project. It's Gemma's passion project. We're full-time day traders. And we know that we have a very special thing here, a very special system, a very special way of teaching women how to take control of their lives and their finances and compound their money. And so we're here on that mission to show women that they can do this too. Okay. So I'm going to let Gemma and Jen share a little bit with you about their stories. And then thank you all for sharing your whys in the chat. I was reading them as I was kind of talking. You guys all, I feel like you can relate to my story, and I relate to all of yours. We're all very connected, and it's a very real issue right now of people being torn away from their families and struggling financially. And I just think that we don't have to live that way. So I'm happy that you're here. Thank you for listening. And I'll pass this on to Jen, because I love when she tells her story of where her and her husband were over a year ago and where they are today. And hopefully their stories will inspire you. So Jen?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. When Amanda tells her story, I'm like, yep, me too. Me too.
Mhm.
Me too. I saw you guys sharing that. And I love seeing your whys, because that is so important. I was on my walk this morning and I was thinking about my why, and I'm like, it is so important for all of us to really understand what that is for us, because whether you're starting something new, whether you're curious about something, whatever your reason is for starting, that's what you need to cling to. And if you don't have something really set in, anchored in to cling to, then it's easy for you to, be like, that's okay. I'll just go back to my 9 to 5. It'll be good. It was easy that way. And so I just really, really love that each one of you took time to write that and know it inside, and stick to it. My why is so important to me. I'll share a little bit about myself, as Amanda and I have been friends for quite some time, and I've seen her journey, and I've walked with her side by side through this crazy life. And she's seen mine as well. And she's seen my husband and I come from a very, very tough situation financially. We have 5 children. And through the years, my goal why was to give my husband freedom. I saw him day in and day out just working so hard. He was a construction worker. He built and remodeled homes, and I could see his dad. His dad can't even lift his arms up over his head because he's been doing construction for so many years. And I was like, my husband will never have to do it for that long. Like, my goal is to retire him. And last year, because of day trading, I was able to retire my husband. And now we get to live together, do life together full time with our 5 kids. We have a house in Nebraska and we have a house in California. And we are, all the goals, all the dreams, all the things that we set out to do have come to fruition because we were deep in our why, and we found day trading. And how I found day trading was Amanda calling me up and being like, hey, we're going to do this thing. And I'm like, okay, what is it? And she's like, daily trading. And I'm like, okay. And so that just goes to tell you how little you have to know about this to be successful in it. You just have to have the desire. You have to know your why, and you have to stick to it. You have to stick to it and learn it. And what Amanda has done is created something so simple here. When we first started, it was not simple. We
Mm-mm.
were trying to navigate the markets in the ways that we were told we were supposed to be navigating the markets. And when Amanda stripped everything back and just made it so simple, I was like, whoa, I can actually be successful here. She showed Gemma and myself a very simple system, and we were like, we got to show the world this. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what brought us here to Forex for Women. And that's what brought you guys all here. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being curious. And thank you for stepping into this, maybe being a little bit like, I don't know what it is. I am not really good at math. None of us were. I'm not really great
You
with
don't have to do
finances.
math also, by the way. There's no math involved.
Exactly. None of us were. And it's crazy how sometimes it's the most unlikely thing that becomes the thing that changes your life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to pass it over to Gemma. Oh, one other thing. So Amanda teaches this amazing system. By the time you learn it, it'll take you about 10 minutes a day to just, keep running, right? As a passive income opportunity. It's really amazing. So what I do here is I work with our women, and I work with books. We read amazing books. I have an amazing book list that we work through, and it is life changing, you guys. It is absolutely incredible, and it's changed a lot of women's lives. I think over 5,000 women now. I mean, how amazing is that? So I'm going to pass it over to Gemma. She is our other mindset coach here, and she is absolutely phenomenal. Take notes in what this woman says, because she will change your life.
Oh, thank you, Jean. Hello, everybody. My name is Gemma. As you can tell by my accent, I am tuning in all the way from New Zealand. So, like a lot of you, I was scrolling on TikTok, saw our beautiful Amanda doing these dances. I always say she's speaking my love language because she was talking about time freedom. She was traveling in her RV, and she was just living this life that I was craving. You know, at the time when I saw Amanda, I had two young babies. My husband was literally the only one who could provide an income at that point in time. I mean, my son was only literally, I think, like 10 weeks old. And my husband hated his job. Like, it was so terrible. And I felt so helpless. Like, what can I do to help? Because right now, I was really struggling to be torn. Like Amanda said, I think that's the underlining current that really brought the three of us together was our children, and just wanting to have the time and not constantly be juggling, having to provide an income, or being with our kids, or our husband's mental health, or us stressing out. And I felt like I was constantly juggling. It was either one of those things were up in the air and lacking in our life. And at that point in time, I feel like it was all of it. It was finances, it was time, it was money, it was rough. But I also feel like we have a lot of grit as well. And so at the time I was like, nah, there's got to be something. And like Amanda said, literally tried everything. Shortly after I had my second child, I built my own salon because I thought, you know what, I can't go work for somebody else because I'm going to have to just randomly do clients when I can. I remember hiring some young kids from college being like, can you help me with my kids? Mom had to help me. Sometimes they were in daycare. So it was just like whenever I could, I'd work like all late nights and Saturdays so I could try and have the days with my kids, try and bring in some money to help my husband. Like it was crazy. Now, when I look back at that time in my life, sometimes when you look back, you're like, whoa, I literally was in survival, fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
But I also knew, I don't know if any of you have this feeling, but in my life, I always just knew I was destined for better and destined for more. I had no idea at the time how I was ever going to change my life around. Like I said, hairdresser by trade was like, look, I started reading personal development books as I was on this quest for freedom and success. And I remember reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. I don't know if any of you can relate. And I was like to my husband, oh no, I've just built a liability, not an asset with my salon. Trading time for money is the worst thing you could do. And he's like, okay, it's okay, but we still need money. So you're still going to have to go and work at your salon. It's fine. But I remember him talking about compounding and leverage and making your money work for you. And I was like, this all sounds so amazing, but how does the everyday person even understand how to do that, you know? And so, like I said, Amanda came across my TikTok. I went to find out what is this all about. And then I saw it was day trading and I was like, oh, I felt a little bit sick. Like, no way, come on, can't it have been anything else? But had already started trading in crypto, buying crypto. So I was a little bit like, got my feet wet in that space. So I was like, okay, and if Amanda can do it, then so can I. And I remember messaging her. I'd kind of been learning trading, and I was like, I was like to her, look, me and you, we're just going to run this together because I see this. I caught the vision. I see you. Let's learn this. And she was kind of like, okay, I can't really understand this chick because she speaks really
No, for
fast.
real.
And
Literally her accent after she was so excited because she was like, I see the vision. We're going to teach women. And I was like, yes, we are. And I got off the phone with her. I sorry to interrupt you, but I have to tell the story. And I said to my husband, I love this girl. She is so excited. We're going to be best friends, but I cannot understand anything she just said. And he was like, okay. It was the cutest thing ever.
And so Amanda and Jen have been like friends for 10 years. And I was like, look, can I just join you guys? Because I just love everything about you. I love this vision. And we learned trading together. And like the girl said at the beginning, there is 1,000 different ways you can enter into these markets. Okay. I'm not sure if any of you drop 222 if you've had previous trading experience, and drop no if you haven't. But there is thousands of ways you can enter into these markets. And so at the beginning, we were literally trying all the ways and learning majority from men. This is a very male dominated industry. Okay. And we love men, but they learn so differently to us women. Okay. So as we were learning things, I was like, Amanda, what did he mean by that? Or like, and she was like, no, he just meant this. And I was like, okay, like, why didn't he just say that then? Like, that makes total sense to me. So we would sit and decipher and all these things. And the other thing was, through this process, we heavily learned that coming from employee, we'd all had businesses in the past, but this landscape, this ecosystem is so different to anything else that you have ever done in your life. You see money fluctuate in minutes. You have uncapped income potential. Everything is determined by you. You don't have to sell a product. You don't have to do anything to make your income. It can be done in 10 minutes a day. So really pushes the boundaries of the way to make money. Okay. And so when you're put in this ecosystem, you still think like an employee. You still process money like an employee, like you're worth a certain dollar value per hour and you have to exchange it for work. Right. And so it was a very brand new landscape. And so as we were in this space, like Jen said, we were reading the books. We were paying for the mindset. We were literally sharing this information between the three of us because as we were leveling up this skill, as we found a simple way to enter into these markets, as we started compounding our money, we had to elevate our beliefs. We had to truly feel worthy of the money we were making. We really had to step into the, whoa, I can continue this growth. I have to stretch my financial capabilities. I have to stretch my belief systems. I have to understand that I don't have to work hard in order to make this money, right? And all these things that you have baggage on, your parents used to say money doesn't grow on trees, you know, maybe rich people are greedy, all these limiting beliefs that we have fed ourselves or society has made us believe, it's sitting there dormant within you. And until you get faced with you having to make the money, until you see money fluctuating in your account, until you see there's no cap on your potential here, that's truly when those things come bubbling up and you're like, but that is what Jen and myself are here to do. Amanda's going to teach you. She's going to show you right now our literal 3-step system and how simple reading these markets actually are. And once you get that down, in less than an hour, once you join us, you will be placing trades. And then Jen and myself are there to do this, to run you through the books, to motivate you, to stretch your mental capacity, to remove these limiting beliefs and help you guys truly awaken your potential and stop settling for lives that we don't love anymore. So that's what we do here. As you can tell, we're so passionate about it, and we can just sit here and speak on that the whole time. But I'll hand it back over to Amanda, and she will start teaching you guys the strategy.
We're just going to cover what day trading is, and then I'll show you how easy it is actually to enter into these markets. But before we before I go in and dive into all that, I just want to quickly just let you guys know that this is an informational free class. This is not like some massive sales pitch. Our membership is literally $35 a month. So we'd love for you to come and join and learn and dive deeper into the information that I'm going to teach you today. And if you want to do that, I'm going to share the link to sign up for our monthly membership right now. I
just dropped it. So women and men separate.
Perfect. Yes. So we have a men's link and a women's link. So you're seeing both men and women on this free call right now. That's just because we make time for one free class a week. And so we teach everybody at the same time. But when you sign up for the monthly membership, men will be separate from women in each their own communities. Again, we love both genders. It's not like one's better or worse than the other. We just keep you guys separate because women have different conversations than men do. And so we just wanted to, of course, this is Forex for Women. So we wanted to provide a safe, comfortable place for women to come and learn this skill without feeling intimidated or anything like that. Okay, so the links are in the chat. You can sign up whenever you are ready. We also do our beginner call in 30 minutes at 12 o'clock Pacific time. So you can sign up now and literally join us on our beginner call right after this free class if you want to. So that's pretty cool also. So what I'm going to do really quickly is just show you when you first sign up, what you're going to gain access to is our app. So you can download this app to your phone. You can also access it on your computer. You're going to get login credentials for it. In this app is basically a little mini Facebook. There's a whole community section here where people are talking about trading. They're meeting each other. They're having conversations about wins, about losses, about certain trades they're getting into. It's a whole beautiful ecosystem of women talking trading. And then we also, in our classroom section, we have, this is where you're going to learn the actual strategy. So when you first sign up with us, what I want you to do is go to the starter course under classroom. This is going to take you only 1 hour to complete, and it's going to walk you through setting up your charting software, setting up your broker account, and learning the whole strategy within 1 hour. So after you complete this starter course, you will be ready to start trading. In our calendar, you'll see all of the live calls we do every single week. We do 4 live calls: a beginner call, advanced call, Jen's mindset, or it's a personal development book club call, and then Gemma's mindset coaching call on Thursdays. So that is all here. And then also within this calendar is the Zoom links to access all of those calls so you can join us live. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and dive into the chart because I want to teach you about trading, because a lot of people think trading is a certain way because of something their aunt or their uncle told them. And because we have the internet and it's 2024, the style of trading that you probably think you're about to learn is probably not what you think it is, okay? But in the chat, I'm going to need you to type something for me, because I know when I first was shown a chart, my heart about dropped out of my butt, because I was like, yeah, I can't do this. That looks too confusing. There's no way I'm going to learn this. And I wanted to leave that Zoom like immediately. So what I want you to do is type, I promise, in the chat that you will not freak out or leave this Zoom when I show you a chart, because I have a very, very unique gift of teaching people this skill that most people love to overcomplicate. But my gift is that I get to make it extremely simple for any single person to learn. I don't care what your walk of life is, what your education background is, what your economic status is. I can teach you. Okay. And so, thank you for posting. I promise that you will not freak out and leave. I trust you that you're going to stay and give it a chance. And I'm going to go ahead and share my chart with you now. Okay. So what we're going to have you do when you first log in is you're actually going to be using a charting software, and it's called TradingView. Okay. So if you go to tradingview.com, that is where you will download your charting software. I'm not affiliated with TradingView. I don't receive any affiliate commissions. I'm not like connected with them. This is simply just the charting software that I have always used when I first started. I love it. It's easy to utilize, and I think you're going to love it too. And in order to get this charting software, you simply need to create an account, okay? You can go in and they do have a free version. The only thing I don't love about the free version is that you'll have ads popping up on your chart a lot, which can get kind of annoying. But feel free to go and dive into the free version until you're ready to like really take it seriously. And then when you're ready to do that, it's $14.95 a month for like the basic package. And that's all you'll need with TradingView. Okay. So it's our $35 a month membership. And then your TradingView, which is $14.95, and that's all that's the only subscriptions that you'll have here at Forex for Women, okay? All right, okay, so here is a chart. So how many of you guys have heard of foreign exchange trading or Forex? Maybe only because of our name. Obviously we are Forex for Women, so we teach how to trade in the foreign exchange markets, okay? So we're not investing in stocks. This is not investment advice. This is not stock investing. We're not teaching you how to buy and hold any sort of asset or stock, okay? Many people think that the only way to trade is to buy something and then hold on to it and hope that it appreciates over time. But that's actually not what we're doing here. What we do here is leverage trade. You can write that down and then go Google it later. We leverage trade in the foreign exchange markets, which means we're not buying and holding anything. We are not owning anything as an asset, and we don't care whether the market is moving up or down. We can make money in both directions, okay? And so there are trillions of dollars that flow in and out of these foreign exchange markets every single day. Your bank is trading your money in these markets, which I don't know if I was just naive or like dumb, but I didn't know this. I thought my money was just like safe in my little savings account. No, that's not true. That's how your bank is making money, is they're literally flushing your money through these markets and compounding profits off of your money, which is crazy to me. I didn't know that that was happening. And the funny thing is, you don't have to be a bank or institution in order for you to make money in these markets. And so we have these big banks and institutions that are pushing the markets up and down and up and down, okay? And so when you are called a retail trader, the banks and institutions are the market movers, the market makers, and we are retail traders. And so the way I like to explain this is we have our big banks and institutions who are pushing the markets up and down and up and down. And they're like the whales, okay? Like the big whales that are pushing these markets around. And we're like those little fish that kind of like hitch a ride on the side of the whale, or like the barnacles. Okay. And all we're doing is we're riding alongside or with those whales who are pushing the market. Okay, that's like the best analogy I can come up with. I'm sure that there are better ones, but that's just the one that I think of, because a lot of people think that you have to be some sort of market guru, that you have to beat the market or outsmart the market or be smarter than the investors. And that's actually not true. We don't have enough money or enough power to move these markets. So our only goal is to flow with what the market is doing. And as long as we are in flow with the markets, then we will make money alongside the big whales, okay? Does everybody understand that so far? Type 222 in the chat if you are with me, you get it, you understand that our only goal is to flow with the markets. Okay, awesome, perfect. So the way the markets work is this. So over on the right-hand side, you'll see all these little symbols. It says odd CAD, odd CHF. So this is the Australian dollar versus the Canadian dollar, okay? And then the one below that is the Australian dollar versus the Swiss franc. And then below that is the Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen. So we've got all of these currencies all over the world, and each one of these currencies has a pair. Okay. And obviously you can see like the Australian dollar can be paired with all the other currencies all over the world. And just like if you were to go to a different country and exchange the American dollar for maybe like the euro, Okay. At any given moment, one will be stronger or worth more than the other. Okay. And so what you're seeing on this chart is that market fluctuation. So when the market is moving up, then that means, let me move this, the Australian dollar was the stronger of those currencies. Okay. And when you see the market moving down, that means the Japanese yen was the stronger of the currencies. So I like to think of it as like the first currency is on top and the second currency is on the bottom, kind of like this, like odd, and then JPY. And so when the Australian dollar is stronger, price is moving up towards it. And when the yen is stronger, then price is pulling down towards it. Can you guys see that kind of visual? And so our only goal is to be able to decipher what direction the market's moving in. And in the next 3 minutes, you're literally going to know how to trade just from this example alone. Okay. So what I like to use on my chart is this little black line. It's called a moving average. And in the course material, I'll show you exactly how to add this to your chart. It's a very easy process. But what it's doing is it's giving me a visual and showing me how to identify what direction the market is moving in. Okay. So if the market is moving up, these little red and green bars here, they're called candles, and all they are doing is measuring current price. It's like a printout. It's just printing out what the price of this currency is doing. And so if these candles are floating up above my black line, then I would be looking to get into buy opportunities. Okay. So I'm looking to flow with whatever direction the market is currently moving in. I'm not trying to predict when it's going to sell. I just want to flow with it, because as long as the market is moving up and I am in a buy, that is how I make money. So if I get into a buy down here somewhere and the market continues to move up while I'm in a buy, then I make money. And the further up the market moves, the more and more money I make. And the same thing happens when the market is moving down. Okay. So if the market starts to go below my black line here, if these candles are below my black line, then I would be looking to get into sell positions. So you might be thinking, wait a minute, I didn't buy anything. How am I supposed to sell something I didn't buy? Well, you are simply saying you're risking a certain amount of money to agree with whatever direction the market is moving in. And I always love to say an object in motion stays in motion. If the market is moving down, the likelihood of it continuing to move down is very high. And if the market is moving up, the likelihood of it continuing to move up is very high. So we have, this is called, basically it's a system of probability. Probably if the market moves down, it will probably continue to move down. If the market is moving up, then probably it will continue to move up. And you say, I'm willing to risk this much money to agree that the market is moving down. So if I get into a sell while the market's moving down, the further and further this market moves down, the more and more money I will make. Okay. Does everybody understand that so far? We're going to talk about risk in just a second, because type 222, if you're with me so far. Risk is something that a lot of people are coming into this with fear. Okay. How many of you guys, just type me if you're like, I want to learn this, but I'm a little bit afraid that I might lose all my money. I'm afraid of the risk. I'm afraid of losing a certain investment. Okay. That's a very common fear, and I completely understand it. So I'm going to actually debunk your fear right now. Okay. For every trade that we get into, we will only ever risk 1% of our account. So if I got into this trade right here, okay, I saw that the market was moving down below my black line, and I thought, oh, sells. I'm getting into a sell because the market is showing me that it's moving below my black line. So I'm going to get into a sell and make money as that market is selling. So for this trade right here, let's say I was willing to risk 1%, okay? When you first start to learn trading with us, you're gonna practice in a demo account. So that's risk removal number one. You're practicing with fake money, but in the real markets, okay? When you are ready to trade with live money, after you've practiced for a month or two, you're very comfortable with entering and exiting trades, you've been tuning into my live sessions every week, you're working on your personal development, you're ready to trade with live money and ready to compound your money. Let's say you start an account with $100, okay? You have a broker account with $100. That's all you will ever need to start your account with. And you decide to start risking $1 or 1% for every trade that you take. What is 1% of $100? $1, okay? So for this trade, I'm gonna risk 1% of my total account, which is only $1, which means if the market does not in fact sell, because that can happen. Okay, we do take losses. This is not a 100% foolproof, never going to take a loss system, because that's impossible. Unfortunately, that just does not exist, okay? We will take losses sometimes, but that's where risk management comes in. So we have this thing called a stop loss, and it's this little area at the end of my box. How many of you guys know what a stop loss is? Type yes or no. A stop loss is there to protect your capital. So if I were to get into this for a sell, but instead it turns around and comes up to this area right here, my broker account, if I have a stop loss set up, will automatically close out my trade for me, and I will have only lost the 1% or $1 that I was willing to risk when I put this trade on. Okay? So is it possible to lose all your money if you are only risking 1% and you have a stop loss? Yes or no? I just want to make sure you guys clearly understand how exactly. So if you're only risking 1% of your account for every trade that you take, that's $1 out of $100. How risky do you feel it is now? Do you feel a little bit better? Type yes or no. Do you feel a little bit better? Like, oh, I didn't realize I wasn't risking all of my savings. I'm putting a small amount of money in my broker account and I'm going to compound that money over time. Now, you might be thinking, well, how does the $100 grow? That seems like it's going to take me 20,000 years to grow it. Well, Forex for Women is actually pretty on top of all of your rebuttals. We already know what you're thinking when you're thinking it. And so the really cool thing is we've developed a really beautiful compounding system. One, yes, compound interest is one way to do it. But one way that we have developed is a specific growth system, okay? And this is called our quantum leap method. So we're going to show you this chart. We're going to teach you how to use it, but you're going to start your account here with $100. And it's going to tell you exactly how much to risk for every single trade that you take, okay? You're not risking 1% with this chart, okay? So just keep that in mind. If you're starting with $100, the only amount of money that will ever be at risk is that initial $100, okay? You're going to first start trading your first trade. You're going to risk $7.50, okay? When you make $16 profit, you're going to close that trade. And then you're going to move to leap 2. And on your second trade, you're going to risk $15. When you make 32, you're going to close that trade and you're going to move to leap 3. And as you look over here where it says the balance here, you'll see how quickly within 7 trades, if they all win, you will have grown your account 1,000%. And then it just continues to go faster and faster and compound bigger and bigger. And where I mean, this is based off of also just keeping in mind winning 100% of your trades. There will be times where you're like at leap 3 and then you have to bounce back to leap 2 because you lost one. And then you might go up to leap 5 and then lose a trade and go back to leap 4. So this is going to be a beautiful, steady mountain climb, okay? But the goal is to continue to compound this money so that eventually you can do something like retire a spouse, quit your job, Once you've grown your account to a level where each trade is making you equivalent to what you maybe make in a week, at that point is when you might go, okay, I've grown my account to this much. Now I'm taking these trades. This is the profit I'm taking out each week. I can withdraw that money each week. You can withdraw from your broker account anytime you want to. And that's the way it works. Now, if you are somebody who has a larger amount of capital that you want to start with, maybe you don't want to just start with 100, you can start with 1,000, you can start with 5,000, you can start with whatever you want to. I would suggest after maybe like $5,000 of capital, if that's what you're going to open your broker account with, you can just start trading with 1%, right? You don't need to necessarily utilize our quantum leap method, but this method is here for people who don't want to start with any more than $100, okay?
Amanda, can I just jump in for a second?
Yes.
This method is absolutely amazing and so incredible, because if you think about it, you're only risking that $7.50. That's the only risk that you take here. And then from then on, it's designed so you are utilizing the broker's money, right, to continue to grow that. So
Right.
your risk is only that $7.50 at the beginning.
Yeah.
Let's think about how amazing that is to take $100 with a $7.50 risk that you take on for yourself. And then everything after that is accumulated from the markets.
Right.
That's amazing. Type
Yes.
222 in the chat if you're catching on to this vision and you're like, heck yes, I love that. I want to start with $100. That's amazing. Yeah.
Absolutely. So perfect. So good. So the market is as simple as that, you guys. It's understanding what direction the market's moving in and getting in that direction. You can trade all of these currency pairs. This is just one currency pair that I've showed you. When you dive into Forex for Women, I'm going to show you how to add this whole list of pairs, and each one of these is another opportunity for passive income. Okay. And so when I say passive income, I don't know what passive income means to you, but to me, if I'm only spending 10 minutes a day to make a full-time income, that is a passive income, right? Do you guys agree with that? So you're going to learn how to set up your trade opportunities in less than 10 minutes each day. And the rest of the time, the market just works for you in the background, okay, on your broker account. You can do this from your phone. You can do this from the beach. You can do this in your car. You can set your trades up anytime, any place, anywhere, 10 minutes a day. That's all you have to spend. So if you are a busy mom or dad and you have a busy life, this is a perfect opportunity for you, because we've created a system that allows it to be completely passive. Okay. All right. I think we have shared enough. I feel like you guys caught the vision. You understand why this is our mission at Forex for Women, and we're really excited for you. One thing I will say, if you do get signed up for our monthly membership, if you upgrade to the yearly, we're actually giving away 2 months free and a free virtual ticket to our conference. That is this Saturday.
Or
So
even in person, if you could make it happen by
yeah,
Saturday.
if you can make it to Florida on Saturday, then you're welcome to join us live.
Yes.
But this is the best time. That promotion ends on Wednesday.
Yeah, we literally don't do promotions ever. And
Never,
so that's why we're like, we
never.
gotta tell everybody about it. But Stephanie, welcome. She said she just joined the VIP membership. Welcome, Stephanie. We're excited to have you.
Welcome. The conference is in Panama City Beach, Florida.
Yes,
You
one of the
guys
most
have to
beautiful
be there. It's
places.
going to be so amazing, live or virtual. What we have lined up for you guys, I literally feel like every single woman is going to leave there a changed woman. We're drastically going to change your life through learning what we're about to teach and elevating your belief system. I just saw a question earlier, and I think this is something that a lot of people think with trading. It's not investing. Okay,
Right.
so someone asked, I think it was Michelle, what are we investing in? Most people think you have to buy an asset and for it to appreciate in value or decrease and sell it, right? Like you've got to buy it low, sell it high. But what we do with trading is we make money on the movement of the market. So like Amanda was showing on her screen, you know, when it switches and the candles go below that line, we're selling too. We can make money in both directions. So we're not actually buying that currency. You know, when she told you the Australian dollars versus the US dollar, we're not physically buying that currency. We are trading the movement of that market. So we're allocating a certain dollar value to the movement. And the more it moves in our direction, the more money we make. So the bigger the movement, the more capital and money we are making along that in both directions. So when it's going up, we're making money, but when it's going down, we're also making money. So you're not physically buying it, you're trading the movement of the market. And that'll make more sense as you get in, okay? So, but I just wanted to say that because I think a lot of people think you buy the asset, you have to buy it and then sell it, but we're actually just leverage trading the movement of those markets. Cool.
Robin says, is there a link for the special price, the VIP and free ticket? It doesn't show up as an option in the link. So everything will be processed on Wednesday. We have our team working on the back end of things to make sure that everybody will have their ticket available. Okay.
Yeah, you'll
The
get
other
once
thing,
you sign up, they'll email you over your free ticket.
Yep.
And I was just going to say as well, this is another question I got, and I don't know, Robin, if that's what you were meaning too. You go, first of all, you have to fill in your details, and then you click on the $35 membership. And then when it goes to payment, you select annual. Okay, so you're probably just seeing the $35 option. I'm not sure if that's what you meant, like a separate link for it. You go down the same route, and when you go to payment, you just select the annual, and it will already have the 2 months deducted off that price. And then once you're signed up, the email that you put in there, you will then be sent an email with the choice of virtual or live. Cool.
Cool. Awesome.
Let's see. Nina asks, where do I go to attend the first live? If you're talking about our call in 10 minutes, you'll go to the calendar link and you'll just go to the beginner's call right there.
And you guys can do this. Someone was asking if you're in Belgium, as long as you have internet access. Now, I know there's some countries like, I think it was like Nigeria or somewhere that might have difficulty with brokers, but majority of countries have access. If you've got internet access and you have access to a broker, you can trade this, okay? And the beautiful thing, like Amanda was showing you inside of our app, is that news feed. You know, if you have any questions like what broker is in New Zealand or what broker is people using in Belgium or whatever, you get to post that and have these conversations. You know, the beautiful thing about this space is this is your business. The moment you decide to learn, we're here to educate you and support you. But the beautiful thing is how fast you do this, how you compound your money, which route you go down. Like we supply you, like Amanda just showed you, the quantum leap with 100, or do you just risk the 1%? You know, there's so many options. So it's kind of like you get to come in and decide which style do I want to run with my money? How do I want to compound this? And then you get to just kind of go, cool, I'm going to go down this path. And you get to binge watch the sessions. You get to go as fast or as slow as you want. And I think that's what makes this so special because we're all unique, right? I know when I first start something, I'm like, yep, binge watch it, get it, get going. Other people might be like, you know what, I just want to take this really slow and steady. So the beautiful thing is you can do it at your own time. And I see a lot of people asking questions. All of our calls are recorded for this reason of us being international, for people working, having busy lives. So if you can make it live, that's the best. But if you can't, as soon as the calls are done, they're put into the hub so that you get access to them and you can watch them at a time that suits you best.
Yes, Kelly, the conference is recorded. So everybody who has a ticket will have access to the recording. So yes. Awesome. Awesome, everybody. I know Amanda's like, okay, we got to go get ready for our call. So let's do that.
Yeah, I want to give you guys time to get signed up and join us on our beginner call. So feel free to do that. And we're excited for you guys. Can't wait to welcome you into our community. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you were inspired today and we'll see you in the school app. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.